And there is one of the great ones, Vito Capizzo, the legendary coach at Nantucket. Is a good one. That's the Nantucket sidelines. Here's Coach Capizzo on the left side of your 36-yard line. They give down to Reed Coggins. Coggins around the right side. Ryder in pursuit, gets by Ryder. He's tackled initially by 3rd and 2 in midfield for Nantucket. Give to Brian Ryder as the first down and more. Ryder now to the 40. Down, Ryder still going. That bull. Walsh pitches to Fox. Fox around right side. Fox down through the middle. Fox with some running room. He's going to the 5. He's in for the touchdown.
I tell you, excellent. Chris Fox.
They are really work and dedicated, enthusiasm, motivated. If any team deserves to go anywhere, it's this team here. It reminds me of 1981 when we played Christopher Columbus in the Super Bowl.
What's the first thing comes to mind when I hear, thinking about Vito? And it was always Vito, okay? But more than that, man, it was Coach.
He knew how to motivate us, and he motivated, each individual was different. Like he'd approach me and fire me up in a different way where he couldn't do the same to another player.
He's one of those guys, in my mind, you never want to let him down.
Football fundamentally is just, can you beat the other guy, 11 on 11? And Vito knew that better than anybody.
This is your day, man. They're going to be behind, they're going to do a lot of cheap shots, a lot of those
Relatively simple game. It's about blocking, it's about tackling. And in order to do that, you have to be disciplined because you have to learn the fundamentals to do that and do that well. Not only for yourself as a player, but for your team.
There are football teams in small towns across America, but there aren't any small towns like Nantucket. There sure aren't many football teams like the Nantucket Whalers.
That's a good throw, Dave.
When Vito Capizzo took over as head coach in 1964, the Whalers hadn't won a game in 3 years. Since 1966, they've had exactly one losing season.
Most of these kids that are playing for me now, I had their mothers and fathers in school. They played for me. They know that I'm not a nonsense guy. I think maybe when you said you hear a lot of war stories about hitting people with a 2x4, some of those stories are true. Unfortunately, in my later years, I had mellowed a little bit.
And people who know him knew about that hard exterior. He came on this rough, tough guy, talking this, talking that. A lot of people knew he was a sweetheart, man, and he had a heart of gold, and that's real. I came on staff in 1985. I think that winning the first Island Cup down here really stuck.
Gonna see if he can get his first pass off. He gets outside the containment. Rolls, Jeff, looking downfield. He's got Fox out there. He catches the pass. Touchdown, Nantucket. A great play, Jeff Walsh.
My father played, and all my uncles played. It's pretty much a family thing. My mother was a cheerleader, my grandmother was a cheerleader, and they've all played for that man over there. I mean, it's sort of, he's sort of an Ori, Coach Capizzo.
But it should be no pressure. You guys had a great week of practice, okay? Destiny's in our hands.
If you really want to know what football on Nantucket is all about, you only have to do one thing. Go to a home game.
Sights in a slot. Gardner in motion. Here's the man in the corner. Touchdown!
We just made the island proud and played with a bunch of good guys that were all had the same mentality. It's just to, win football games.
He always used to yell at me all the time. And one time I said, why are you always yelling at me? It seems, and he goes, well, the reason why I'm yelling at you is because I see something in you. I thought he had something against me, but it was always just to make me better. That's all he ever wanted from me is to make me be the best that I could be. When he said we're going to do captains, I remember him saying, a captain's not a person who scores the most touchdowns. The captain is a person who is going to help other players be the best that they can be.
Coach is counting on me. He relies on me, I've got to try and be a leader as much as I can.
Teamwork, hard work, commitment, heart, dedication, all those great attributes that have made me who I am today.
And that drove me through my years where I could have been getting in trouble. I could have gone any number of different paths, but it helped me focus on what was important and who was important And, you know, it led all the way to when we were seniors in high school, which would be 20 years this fall.
My quarterback, Matty Arisman, he's a midget, by the way. He's got a full scholarship at Bates. And he was hurt. And I had another young man, Ryan Sosby, who took over his place. And an injury does not replace another player. So Ryan's word says, I have no problem, but can I play wide receiver? I said, I don't see why not. And free safety, he caught the winning touchdown. Wow. Matty to Ryan Sosby on the sideline, which Dave has shown over and over again. I thought the kid was out of bounds, but he caught it, he went down, but his knee never touched the ground, and he went in and scored a touchdown. So, you know, I never seen two kids so much happier than they were.
And the crowd goes wild.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, anytime you beat those grapes, the crowd goes wild.
It's so special, not only for my seniors, but also for the community. And, you know, and Terry, I think the kids today proved that Willis Pride means a lot to them. We still don't have the killer instinct, though. You know, we should have put them out early, and we kept them in there, and almost came down at the end, which it did, you know. But our kids, I told them at halftime, I said, nobody's going to take that cup away from us in Nantucket. And thank God after 3 years we got it back.
We did what nobody thought we could ever do. Nobody thought the cup was ever coming back here. They thought all the papers were saying the rivalry's over, the Vineyard's too good, the Vineyard's too big. We proved them all wrong. It was in USA Today, the whole country. You know, watch NBC later on. Highlights of this game are going to be on NBC. The whole country is seeing what we just did.
That game was truly is still, you think back to high school football, one of the greatest days of my life, and most triumphant games of our lives. You talk to Joey here, another fellow captain who works with us, he'll tell you the same thing.
When you walk around that field over there, you think about the 40 years, what do you think about the
Well, I think probably the biggest reward I ever got is not financial, because I'll tell you now, when you get 7 cents an hour coaching, you know, it's ridiculous. And the guy down the Stop and Shop puts a can of tuna fish up there, gets $15 an hour. Doesn't make sense. But I think the biggest reward I receive is my former athletes calling me up and say, Coach, it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in a position. As a matter of fact, on my staff, I have 4 coaches. 3 are former students of mine. They were water boys, they played football for me, and now they're coaching for me. And that's really, I've been very fortunate in that way, Pat.
It's important to give back to your community. At least that's the way I feel. You know, it's almost like an obligation. You know, that's an obligation that feels right. You know, because the community did so much for us and for me. You know, now it's your time to really give back. And I'm not saying just kind of show up. You know, I'm saying, you know, give everything you have.
First of all, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Get to the point where you step out, okay? And listen, you maybe get knocked down, and you may have dreams that may not come true, but the fact that you're working at that dream, it's going to develop you as an individual. And if you fail at it, you didn't fail. It just didn't come true. Then take that same work ethic and redirect it. Go find out what gives you, what do you have a passion to do? Go and succeed. This is Coach Machado. This is the end of the interview. And this is not only to your children, okay, but this entire community. Whale of pride.
Cheer for Coach Capizzo! Let's go! Coach Capizzo! He's our coach! He's the coach that does the most! The man of whom we always boast! That's our coach! C-A-P-I-Z-Z-O! Coach Capizzo!